Hey, brother, this is a great question, and I appreciate the opportunity to afford an answer where I'm going to expound a little bit. Well, first, I think that most Christians need to start thinking about the judgments, where, according to your question, even entering the wedding officiation accords with work in the judgment. So, the physical resurrection of all in the sepulchres begins in relationship to the first watch time, which the designation of each watch time here in Mark 13:35 points to the ending hours. So it doesn't mean that when Jesus comes again, that it's 6 o'clock. It could be that all of the dead rise right here, which begins the second watch time. Okay? Which, by the way, I think that Daniel's 70th week is divided by the second and third watch times, divided by midnight. So what we should be thinking about is the two sides of the coin, where, according to your question, the first who uploosen at the first rising is the out-resurrection, much, much more better, where when they enter the wedding feasts, they are made officiating spirits equal to angels. This is the taking of the reward of John 4:36, which is Aeonian life. The same stepped further, who have Aeonian life, and not does he come into judgment. We're down here in verse 27, so he also gave him the judgment to do authority, where then Jesus talks about those who are in the sepulchres, hearing the voice of the Son of Human, where they go out into resurrection of life, Aeonian life. So again, according to the judgment authority, does not come into judgment, does not come into judgment. They have stepped further. But this doesn't mean they're not involved in doing the work in the time of the judgment, because the word officiation means people work. So just like the angel busted Peter out of jail, angels will be doing work like that behind the scenes in the spirit. They're officiating spirits. Dispatched into the service for those about to law accordingly allot safeguarding. So those who will allot safeguarding in that context will be in the second watch time, boots on the ground, which is the down establishing to do curing work, to give grain measure in the term, who the grain are the sons of the regency, who come in the wedding at midnight, where then they enter the wedding to become officiating spirits, dispatched into service to lead on together the outchosen of the four winds. So those who come into the wedding as angels are officiating over people who are down established in the third watch time. So prior to entering the wedding is the context of making and carrying fruit. Making fruit is sowing the word of the regency of God, and watering in the bath of the water and talk, that the fruit is made to grow into hallowing, but the finishing is Aeonian life. So these are hallowed. Their fruit is finished, which the context of feasts in the wedding is not just a celebration, it's the taking of the reward. Paul writes, to partake together with the fruit, it is binding to the land worker tiring himself to come before formerly into the fruit partaking, which is the context of the first order here, the uploosening, which is much, much more better, where the unloosening is a better resurrection, which leads to the second order into the wedding. Parable of the 10 virgins. So basically, this is the officiation work of angels in the judgment, leading fruit into Aeonian life. These, where when they come into the wedding is the leading on together in the superposition of bringing up to a conclusion of the fruit carrying, which the harvest at the altogether finishing of the eon leads to this transition, where then the judgment of the left named is the fourth watch time. Where the harvesters are angels in Matthew 13 concerns the choosing together of the darnel into the fire. So everything has its orders. The harvest of the darnel into this conclusionary Gehenna of the fire is the harvest work of the angels to bring the outcome of the left named who are cursed. So angels officiate, to answer your question simply, concerning the judgment of the last days, beginning in the resurrection, where the first making of angels officiate, and then the second order officiate, join with them into the conclusion of the sons of the regency, who are blissful, blissful, woe. Luke 12:38, which I really should put Luke 12:38 on this chart somewhere, but there's just not room. So basically, the first watch time disappeared shows the judgment has begun. That Jesus is talking to an audience here prophetically, where again, those going out of the wedding accords with the disappeared first order, uploosening, where then the second watch time comes into the wedding at midnight, and then the third come into the wedding at the cock's voice. Which, by the way, is the context of Hebrews chapter 13, verse 4. The wedding be valuable in all, and the lying unbesmirched. The all is this, unbesmirched, where here, for the whorers and adulterers God will judge. In the Aeonian fire concerning Diabolos and his angels, where all into the completion of cock's voice will already have been made angels in the completion of Christ's body. So these are the feet of the body, last, the lower members, which the fourth watch time do not come into the Sabbath oath of the completion of Christ's and his angels.